Wednesday, July 19, 2023, almost a month since my last walk. Filmed one anyway. Shocking. The weather, train strikes, go-slows, of which there is one today. I shouldn't even be down here in Kent. This is a backup walk that I had on my mobile for such an event as today. Even though the timetable had been amended, 2 trains down to Surrey were cancelled at the last minute. It's an hourly service to Milford, where I was hoping to do the Milford to Godalming walk today, which is in massive need of an update. So I couldn't get there. So consequently, here I am today in Kent, about to undertake around 11 miles circular, possibly an extension to Chilham, I'm not sure yet. We'll make a judgment call later, but either ways it's around 11 miles of walking today. If I do the circular, it's book 1, walk 53. If I do the extension, it's a free walk, number of which I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment. But yeah, I mean, this month, the last month, has been terrible for the wind, and that's what always knocks my walks out. Still haven't updated my handy cam yet, my camcorder, so any sort of wind above 25, and we've got around 20 today, 20 miles per hour winds, gusts, so it might be wind affected up on the tops there, Crundale, and I've got a westerly, northwesterly breeze with it, around 20 degrees today. It's fair, which is not bad. Was cloudy this morning, possibility of a shower this afternoon, but hopefully not. So around 12 noon now, as I say, around 11 miles, so I'm anticipating around 5 hours for this walk, and hopefully I'll better get home. As I say, these train drivers and RMT staff, ASLEF staff, are becoming a pain. They always are with me anyway, whether they're striking or not, because as I continue to say, they're overpaid and underworked. Have been ever since privatisation. Anyway, away from the politics, let's crack on, see what awaits. So I presume that's the date of the station being built here at Wye. North Downs Way map here. And whereas previously I went off in that direction last time I walked from Wye, we're going in the opposite direction today. Just about to walk over the river Great Stour. Voila! With the lovely Tickled Trout pub next to the river. So after about 10 minutes and a bit of walking through a residential area, we finally come out to the edge of Wye and some cracking views, and our onward journey. Had a light sprinkling of raindrops as well during that 10 minutes. Hopefully that'll be the end of it. And there is our first glimpse of Crundale today, the Crown. We are on the North Downs Way, Wye Crown a mile. And I know we're headed there because I can remember it from before when I walked this walk in, I think it was January 2011, and it was quite a windy day, which is why I'm redoing this walk today. Noise affected back then. Quite a rare sight these days. Group of starlings, which you can hear in the background amongst these bushes. Won't be much bird song now, because in the month since I last walked, as I indicated on that walk, most birds are molting and have gone into hiding. So yeah, a dull time of the year really for walking in terms of bird song, etc. Information panel here about Ripple Farm Organics, Soil Association accredited farm. Wonderful to see. It's a shame that organics hasn't really taken off in the way I thought it might do when it first appeared. I mean, and in any case, organic for me was simply normal when I was growing up. It's just been given a new term because of all the chemicals used on the mainstream stuff. Crundale getting ever nearer. And presumably that's part of the organic farm system over there. Wonderful. That mobile phone certainly won't be. Lovely view back whence I've come, or certainly up this track anyway. Wye Crown, just a half-mile away now. So I'm at a point on the map called the Junipers, and we go into that wood very shortly. But just before we do, nice view back from around 336 feet here. Luckily not too much wind interference at this point. It's quite humid, mind, when it isn't blowing. I haven't heard of any fields being cut yet, but they must surely be very close to starting. This wheat field isn't quite ready, but mid-July normally they are, and with the situation in the Crimea and the ending of the agreement by the Russians, it looks like we're going to have even higher bread, cereal prices. It's never ending, isn't it? Ridiculous. Obviously at this time of the year the path through this woodland is not too bad underfoot, though I read it can be in the winter months. So there we go, May, June that's dated. We're obviously well into July now, so whether there'll be any cattle around in Crownfield remains to be seen. Great view though, so let's go and grab it. And nothing like as windy as when I was last here. Yeah, they're still around, unfortunately, and the wind's picked up as well. So this is the Crown. Cracking view. Looking over Wye there. So the altitude here is 170 meters times just over 3 is 410-ish, 415-ish. My altimeter is recording 404, so not bad. God rest her soul. Here are here is the crown that we looked at from a distance earlier. Obviously I'm looking at it now from above. Seems to be an omnipresent breeze up here. Hope you're not hearing it. Those cattle seem to be more interested in food than me, which is good. But there are people with a dog behind me, not too far distant. So I'm pressing on pretty pronto in that direction. Fleury at Wye, with a few direction markers there. Dover, Canterbury. Google that for more information. The Wye Crown or Crundale. Another great vista of the downs to my right. Wye still down there in the valley. 2 mile in at this point. Can just make out the South Downs on my right, and on the coast some wind farms. So at this juncture we leave the North Downs Way, which heads off that direction, and we cross this field which looks like it's been cut and ploughed in already. Surely not. Well, amazing if so. Which makes getting across this field quite ponderous, as the farmer hasn't reinstated it yet. So that means it's been cut within the last fortnight, I would guess. We now pass through another metal gate into Collier Hill Wood. Lovely mixed woodland here. Hornbeam, I think, and beech. And a young buzzard in the background mewing. Yeah, pleasant vista on the other side of the wood. Combe Manor down below us, and yes sirree, just as I was saying, the corn has been cut and a farmer is over there ploughing in the stubble. So all happening down here in Kent, just as I expected really, being one of the sunnier corners of the country. Harvest has already been done. Nothing near like enough grain though to keep us self-sufficient, unfortunately. So just in front of Combe Manor here, we take a right, which is a footpath, byway and bridleway, as you can see on that post. Views back whence I've come. Branch off left here, over that or through that gate, was a stile per the text. Gate ahead of us, and as you can hear in the background, some ravens. Pair of them. Walking alongside Hurst Wood here. What a lovely butterfly that is. I don't know it myself. If anyone knows, I better check it at home, but what a beautiful colouring with its warning eyes. Attracted by this lovely wild meadow on my right. Just a bit of jet noise in the background now, I notice. It's been pretty good thus far. and I suspect this is wild carrot as opposed to the long dead cow parsley now. See what I mean about signage? That's a very old sign that should have been taken down, because they're only meant to be up if the animal is actually in the field, which clearly, thankfully, there hasn't been one in this field for a long time. Now following another leafy byway, and this is actually Townswood per the map, and this could certainly be troublesome in the winter months after heavy rain. Got that lovely aroma again on the ground after the shower of rain. Wonderful chi. And yeah, I have forgotten the name of for it. Old age. Come out of the wood into this lovely vista. Fantastic. Soon be time for lunch, hopefully at St Mary's Church, Crundale. Lovely section of walking this, and thus far I don't remember any of this walk apart from the crown. Starting to descend now down the path, around 420 feet at this point. An amazing view down the valley on my left here, just through a small gap in the hedge. I can hear a pack of hounds somewhere, as well as trees being cut over there. Listen to those dogs though. So here we are, and this is the church that I was at a couple of weeks ago. Must have been on a Chillum walk. Had lunch here then as well. Great. About 2:15 now. Not sure how many miles I'm in. About 4.5 I think. So yeah, I'll use the same seat that I did last time. In front of this grave, just behind me here. And as I mentioned last time, there are a couple in the car park with decent views. But I'll use this one again, dedicated to Anne Otley. Thanks, Anne. Not very serene, mind you, with those woodcutters in the background, but hey ho. So just coming up 3, and very pleasant respite that was. Unusually a chap turned up who attends and maintains the graves for the fallen. War Graves Commission chap, local, voluntarily maintains their graves, which is excellent. Nice flint extension here. Difficult to get a full-on shot of this church, unfortunately. If I recall, it's not open either. Let's have a look. Well, the church is actually open, and unusually there are 2 other people in here as well, as you can hear. Okay, that's the interior. Time to press on. Not sure I got in here last time, but interesting little motto there. And I like the way the door is covered with this curtain. Wonderful. So that's St Mary the Blessed Virgin, Crundale. Wonderful view up the valley here. Much better than the last time I was here, if I recall. Okay, just trying to get back en route. There aren't any instructions to join the path via the church, so I'm using the GPX track to join this byway here. You take the field opposite the church, drop down at an angle to find this byway, and then there should be a turning on the left soon, which will get us back onto the main route and save us about 2k by not having lunch in the pub. There's no footpath marker, but you go over this stile and drop down this field per the text, or not the text, per the GPX track, and there's a very faint path, hopefully, to where we need to be. Very overgrown and not marked at all, but this is the right route. So there you go, it is signed, but only when you get down to the farm buildings. Onward journey straight ahead, and even the sign over there has been smashed. Okay, walking past Crundale House there, over on my right, and the church up on the hill behind it. That took a good little time, about half hour actually, to get down to here. It's not a very far distance at all, but the route is not yet obvious, and you will need a GPX track for sure. Instructions, there aren't any. There is an obvious path across this field of wheat, so let's hope that's it. Soon find out per the GPX track. Getting a bit cloudy now, which is worrying. Wonderful views back whence I've come. You can just make out the church up on the hill there. Lovely position. And I decided not to do the Chilham extension because obviously I've been to Chilham recently, whereas I haven't done this part of Wye for 13 years. So makes sense. Do the original book 1 walk 53 circular. Okay, leaving the hamlet of where have I just come from? Crundale behind me, coming up this quiet country lane. Now join the Stour Valley walk into this woodland, cutting the corner off this lane effectively. Okay, a byway joins from the left. We've just come up that way, and fair play to Kent. Looks like that path has been recently maintained. Certainly been cleared up in recent times. So fair play to them, because this is one of the worst counties in my humble experience for footpath maintenance. But today it's been pretty good. So maybe they're turning a leaf, let's see. Save the section after the church, which was pretty overgrown and unmarked. But let's make a judgment at the end of the walk. Cross over a country lane to some more wonderful vistas. Wind is picking up a little bit, which again is perturbing with the increasing cloud cover, and the Met Office are indicating a shower around about 6, so hopefully I won't see any of that. Okay, there is a stile in the very far corner of this field, or that field that I've just walked across. I didn't see it, so I took the gate about 50 yards further on, which meant disturbing this wildflower meadow here. Wonderful, full of butterflies and other creatures. And then the farmer, fair play to him, has given the path ahead for us through these broad beans. Now another tiny little bit of woodland walking. And again the onward journey's clear. More broad beans. Love broad beans. Lovely views near Little Ollantay Farm over there on the map. So this is the HQ of Ripple Farm Organics that we saw earlier. Good to see. With the cottage, apparently, behind me here. Wye 1.25 miles as the roads go, but we're not taking the roads. We've probably got double that distance to do at least yet. Another bit of quiet lane walking here, looking towards the village of Bilton on the A28 over there. Crossing over a sheep field here, thankfully, towards a footbridge across the Stour, I believe. So here we are, the Stour again. Some lovely dragonflies down there. Look how those willows mark the route of the Stour. Not sure what type they are. They might be black willow, I don't know. If they are, they're quite rare, but I'm probably wrong with that. There was one here marked number 20, so because they've been marked they might be rare and thus black willow, I'm not sure. Okay, there's a bird in amongst that vegetation there that I don't recognise, so I've had to use Bird Nerd, the app, and it is identifying with medium confidence a black redstart. There you go. I'll see if I can get closer and get a better pickup. Well, I'm not sure. I still can't see it either. Well, now it's suggesting common reed bunting with high confidence, and that's probably more likely with the Stour just over there. Over the built-in crossing. Great views back of the Crundale Downs. Lovely afternoon now. At the moment. That's about the first songbird I've heard today. Blackbird. So he must have done his molting. So just ahead of the A28 there, by number 1, whatever that is, we take this footpath on the left. Into more, well, these must be field beans because they've been left to go black. Yeah, into more bean territory. And I thought they were broad. No, obviously not. Another wonderful view of the downs on my left here, with the noise of the A28 on my right, unfortunately. They certainly do. Decent views on my right now as I walk across this field of barley. A28's quietened down a bit now because I'm walking away from it. We take the left version of the two options here through this hole in the hedge, over a relatively new footbridge here as well. Little waterfall down there. Got across the rail line again now. And there is Wye Station in the distance. Over the Stour again. Yes, some coots up there. And down here somewhere. There's Crundale once again, where I was earlier. And also in the distance here I noticed the church at Wye. First combine of the season, a 770 Lexion. I don't know what they're cutting, certainly not grain. It's whatever this field is. It's like some kind of grass to me. No, I have no idea what that is. Hardly seems to have a seed on it, but that's what they're cutting. A parting shot of the downs as we come back into Wye. The very solid looking church at Wye. Not sure of the name at this moment in time. Very impressive. Wonderful organ. Lovely lead up there. Yeah, good old solid place this is, yet quite modern in feel. 1717. St Gregory and St Martin, eh? And there you have it. Time is right. Passing the tickled trout again. And I'm not sure that I might just have walked past Gavin Hastings. I'm going to check that out. He is the lead singer for From the Jam, but I might be wrong. Cleaning out his camper van by the looks of it. He had an old guy's rule t-shirt on. Pretty sure it was him. So here we are, 4.5 hours later, 10 miles, which is around a half an hour slower than what I'd normally do for a 10 miler. But that's the way it was today. Quite humid, so that might be behind it, but I haven't been out for a month really, so in any case it was a very enjoyable walk, one that I don't remember much of, and without the extension to the pub, very pleasant indeed. There's not much in Soul Street from memory. I do remember that because I've been there a couple of times. So I don't think that little trip over there is worth it unless you are booked into that pub, and you do have to book for lunch. So yeah, rain held off, and now fingers crossed for a safe journey and undisturbed journey back. So after expecting to walk round in Surrey, I ended up doing a very pleasant walk in Kent. So that's book 1, walk 53, which is the sort of make weight walk, was added in because obviously there were 52 walks for every day of the year, every week of the year, and that was like an additional one which I've managed to do today for that very purpose. And just as well it exists, because it needed updating anyway. So until the next time, take care.